Welcome to Puddle. Into this update, we're gonna start by playing the secret level of the game, the Pixel level. The Pixel level is unlocked by earning enough achievements in the game, and you do need a certain number of achievement points in order to be able to access this level. You can just gain access to this level essentially by clearing the levels of the game. By finishing enough chapters, you'll eventually be able to get there. This is one really weird level, as in, well, your water is going into boiling water. I mean, how the hell does that even work? What are the physics involved in this? I really don't know. And since the level is entirely styled after a 8-bit look, it also looks rather weird. The water just really doesn't look natural here in the slightest. I mean, it didn't really look that natural to ever begin with, but it looks even more weird here, and there's a whole lot of cameo appearances by the people who made this game. Yeah, you might have thought that was the end of the level, but no it isn't. Instead, you just have a whole lot of sections to go through. I think this will be the longest level of the entire game, and truth be told, this is one level that you'll play exactly once, because once that you finish this level, there's pretty much nothing else that needs to be done. There are no medals to be obtained into this level, so you're just playing it in order to see the wacky visuals. Oh, and maybe you'll play it in order to go through the awesome roller coaster sequence that we saw previously. At least you cannot accuse this level of not having any kind of variety. Now we're going into a gloomy castle, which is filled with spike traps. But these ones certainly aren't like the spike traps in Prince of Persia. As in, it really doesn't do a whole lot. This part can also be annoying because it's really hard to go through all of the boxes in one go like that. Usually you'll just pierce through one set of boxes, you won't have enough momentum to break the other one, you'll have to backtrack in order to break some more boxes, and so on and so on. In the end, I'm just glad that I didn't have to backtrack at all in order to break all of the boxes in one go. Unfortunately, the end of the level is kinda redundant. I mean, we've already done all of these roller coasters in the past. It's so bad that we've lost an entire heart, or maybe one heart and a half. Yeah, having hearts is kind of a weird way to analyze the amount of water that you have, or maybe this is the amount of love that you have whenever you see your water running away. I'm not sure that made any sense, but yeah, that's it for the Pixels level. And with the Pixels level done, time for the main event. We're gonna get the gold medals on extreme difficulty in the nuclear power plant. This is one level that will require a few tries before you get it right. You just have to figure out the right angles at which to tilt your camera in order to put off all of the fires quickly. There's no margin for error here because if you slack off for pretty much one entire second, one of the fire will put itself back on, and you will fail. In this level, you'll have to focus mainly on keeping all of your water on the wire. This is already defying all laws of physics and gravity, but we're gonna have to deal with it. In order to do those jumps, you pretty much have to figure out the exact speed that you need to go on in order to preserve all of your liquid like that. The jumps is what's gonna make you fail this level over and over again. You thought that this jump was tricky? Well, how about the other one, where the gap is even larger and longer? Yeah, if your jump is any higher than that, you're not gonna do it. Your entire water will fall through the wire, and you'll be game over. And even at the end of the level, it's still kinda touchy because you need to approach all of those turns rather slowly so that you do not go too fast and your water falls off the wire. But this will be the one exception where you'll want to go fast, because you can finish this level a whole lot faster. While in the earlier level you could manage to just finish the level by bringing in enough liquid, you're gonna have to bring in liquid here and be fast at the same time. There's no slacking off into this level, but the main danger in going fast here is in this section where there's some slight curves where it can pretty much throw your water balance all the way off, And right here you can see the kind of catastrophe that can occur if you're going at the wrong speed. Outspeeding the spark is nowhere near as easy this time around. And the end is pretty much self-explanatory. Sometime it will be really messy, but it will do the job. And when you're going for the gold medal, try to not outshoot the flower. Going to the back wall will make you lose way too much time. You just have to do one maneuver to get a gold medal. This one. You just have to squeeze your entire radioactive mass through the turnstile without touching them in order to finish the level. If you try to guide your liquid through the turnstile, you will lose way too much radioactivity and you will be unable to open the door. This is kind of a weird way to finish the level, and the fucked up thing is, this is the official solution for the level. You pretty much have to think outside the box for this one, or out of the blades. Here's another level where you will pretty much determine your fate in the first 10 seconds of the level. In order to make it through, you'll want to gather your radioactive mass in as much of a tight cluster as possible to make it all fall on the radioactive style like that. This will allow you to keep it all on the turnstile while making it so that it will stay radioactive enough in order to go through the door. There is absolutely no margin for error. If one slight part of the radioactivity falls off of the turnstile, you will be done. And yeah, we're really going through this chapter fast. When I said that this was the shortest chapter of the entire game, this is no joke. Welcome to the level of the chapter which manages to be as long than about the 3/4 of the other levels that we went through. But at least, unlike the last few levels, you do not need extreme feats of dexterity and finesse in order to make it to the end. But you will want to bring in as many sodium as possible, because it will make pretty much all of the difference. Even if you speed through this level at full speed, if you only bring the minimum amount of liquid, you will still get no medal at all. For this one section, you have to figure out the right speed through which to launch your sodium in here in order for it to not hit any of the lightning or radioactivity rods that will dissipate your sodium, and with a few attempts you'll eventually figure out the right timing. And here we have the calm before the storm. Even though the actual level itself is already really stormy because you see all of those particles of radioactivity that fly toward you, as if it was some kind of really weird snow, as if we were into the nuclear winter. Yeah, this is where things will get really nasty. The way that you do this section will decide how the rest of the level go. You do this jump really softly, then you push your camera all the way to the right so that all of your sodium crosses the gap all at once. If there's any part of it which falls behind and either fail to do the jump or get caught up into the wall or anything, you might as well just restart the level right away because you're not gonna be able to get all of your sodium to do all of these crazy jumps. As for this one part, slow down your liquid a bit and then slam it all forward in order for it to cross the gap all like this. Make sure that there's as little particles as it can that fall into this enclosed area. And into the downward spiral we go. And there we have it! We have all of the gold medals on extreme difficulty. And yeah, you can clearly see that you need most, if not all of your liquid in order to finish this level successfully. So, coming up next, the wrapping up of Puddle. We'll check out the secret achievements of the game and we'll mess around a little bit in the laboratory mode.